Welcome to King Lizard's Game Lounge and my third playthrough for Gravel on Xbox One. So in this particular playthrough part, if you like, part 3, I'm going to go through episode 6 and 7 and 8, and I'm also going to tackle the next boss, James Watanabe. He's the Speedcross boss. So stick with me, I'm going to take you through those 4 episodes from the game. It's going to be quite interesting. I just purchased this Lancia Stratos for this circuit. This is a elimination circuit, so obviously the key here is for me to get out in the first place and avoid being eliminated. Whoever's on last place will be eliminated once the timer in the top left hand corner drops to 0. So you can see at the moment it's in 20 odd seconds. When that hits 0, whoever's in last place gets eliminated from the race, and then it's down to 6 vehicles. So I screwed that corner up a tree, not good. And the AI is pulling away from me, so I need to reel this guy in. I think that's another Lancia actually. I think that's a Lancia Stradale, which I haven't unlocked yet. So it'd be interesting to see what that thing feels like once I pick one of those up. Now this is the generic livery that you get with the Lancia Stratos. I haven't actually unlocked any more at this point. Oh, that's a nice little drift around the corner there. A little bit of a handbrake. And it's quite a sensitive car, this. It's not as sensitive as the Renault Alpine, the A110. That is a very sensitive vehicle. This one is a little bit better in terms of handling, but it's still a little bit twitchy at high speed. Screwed that up, bounced myself into that wall by hitting the first wall. See if I can get this corner a little. No, I'm too quick into this corner. I need to get that better. AI's got the better of me again. Oh, accidentally tapped in there. So I'll get myself back in the first place. We're down to 5 vehicles, about to drop down to 4 vehicles in 7 seconds. So far so good. Second lap in, and I'm still in first place. It's very tight though. Those 4 AI behind me are right on me, so if I make a mistake, it's all over. And I'm going to land up in last place, and it's going to be quite tough to get back into first place. Mind you, I've probably got a lap or so. I probably might be able to do it if I made a mistake, but I definitely don't want to try it, that's for sure. So a little bit of a slide here. I hit that wall again, slowed me right down, lost all my XP there. Now obviously when you're drifting and you're doing big air and stuff, you're getting XP all the time. So obviously it's good if you can control the vehicle to do as much drifting as possible on these circuits, and Speedcross is one of the best places to build up some of the biggest scores, because you can just do massive drifts around corners and really rack up that score in the middle of the screen there. So that is basically your XP score that increases your gamer level in the game, or your driver level, and then that will actually allow you to unlock new vehicles, new tracks, and new liveries and stuff. So that's the key to sort of advancement in Gravel, if you like. So we're down to me in second place now. Second place is right on top of me at the moment. I've screwed that corner up. I was very slow through there, so he's caught me up even more. I need to get this corner right, or this U-turn right, because I keep messing this up. I've managed to stay in front, so I've got 666 there as XP, number of the beast, and straight into the straight here. I've got this in the bag. First place. Quite good fun that. I quite enjoy these Speedcross circuits. They're really good for drifting and stuff. So next up, I'm going into this Smash Up. Now, Smash Up is basically a time trial, but a time trial that involves you hitting these boards. And you need to hit the green arrows. The green arrows allow you to carry on through at high speed. If you hit the red X's, it slows you down literally to nothing. You hit 2 of those, and there's no way you're beating that AI time to get first place. So obviously this is my first run here, as was the last race. That elimination was my first run, so I was able to get that in the bag straight away. Hopefully I can pin this down quickly, because I'm not a massive fan of these smash ups. This one's not been too bad because the boards are spinning around quickly, and by the time I get there I can see the green arrow. But some of the other events like this I did, it was actually very difficult to tell which way I was going to be going until the last minute, because those boards were still spinning. So I managed to reel in the first place there by 2 seconds. Excellent. That's that smash up out the way. So another time attack orientated event here, the third event in episode 6. and I'm in the Ford Ranger T6. So it's a slightly different vehicle to what I have been driving. I don't think I've driven this before in previous videos. I may have, maybe. I don't think I have, but I thought I'd change. This is actually the livery you get for beating the previous boss. So it's like an American flag livery. And I thought I'd go bonnet mode here just so you see a different view and some different aspects within the game. Quite a fast circuit this. This is actually my third run. First attempt I screwed up and landed up going off track. And on my second attempt, I think it's this section here, I went up onto two wheels. I think it's the next section. I literally went up onto two wheels and landed up in all the trees on the right side there. I think it's a little bit later actually. There's quite a nasty little corner that comes up and kind of got an uneven bit of ground. That bit there. So that's where I kind of went tree diving before. This time I've managed to get past that. So this is all new to me now on this particular time trial. I've not seen any of this before. So quite a steep downhill section here. Hopefully this vehicle's heavy enough to keep itself on the ground and maintain control. Nice brick section there. We've got a bit of a, what is that, left? Yeah, got a bit of a, no, it's not too tight actually. That's tight. That's a tight right-hander there. Or tight, actually it's not as tight as it looked. And then another minor right side here. So this is handling quite well. It's quite a heavy vehicle. It's got that filter on the screen again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard me say about this before, but I really don't like this complete over screen filter that they've got, like this rain smear coming down. You know, I think it'd be okay if it was on a replay camera or something, but it just doesn't look right on the vehicle when you're driving. And I think the rain effects are kind of good enough without that filter on the front of them. So I don't know, I don't like that too much. It makes the game, for me, this level, the whole level has looked very Xbox 360 for my liking as opposed to Xbox One. So I think it kind of dampens the palette of the colours in the game and also just makes it look that little bit older in terms of the game. So 230 is what I need to beat here, and I've just done it. So I managed to bag this one on my third run. It was a little bit tough, that one. So into episode 7, this is the last frontier, and we've got a couple of cross-country races. This is the first one, and I've jumped in a new vehicle here. This is the Renault Duster 4x4 vehicle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some multi-view switching as I'm driving around, so I won't stay in the same view. I'll switch through various views as I drive around this circuit, just to give you a little bit better look. I don't mind the view from this internal, it looks quite good actually. And the dash cam view looks really nice actually. This is quite cool. Quite like this view. Can live with that. I've already managed to get into first place quite early on here. 27% in, I'm in first place. AI is grouped up behind me at the moment. Let's see if I can leave these guys behind. I am playing the game in medium mode. I actually quite like that as well. That bonnet mode looks quite nice. And the game here, as you can see, what you may or may not, agree with me, but I think this looks so much better here without any kind of filter on the front of it. It looks much nicer game, and with the bonnet mode kind of in front, it's taking your observation away from the distance, and it makes the game look that little bit better, I think. But 56% of the way in here, I've got quite a bit of a gap there. Still only a mistake away from the AI. But on medium mode, I've actually found that this game offers quite a respectable challenge. There are some occasions where I literally leave the AI for dead, but quite a good majority of the time they tend to give me quite a good run for my money, I find, which is strange because normally a lot of racing games I find are actually too easy. I generally have to jump into pro mode or unbeatable mode with most Forzas, with the exception of Forza 7, which I've actually found a little bit tougher. And obviously the likes of Project Cars as well, quite tough game in general, but a lot of other racing games I found it very easy, and I normally have to up the level just to make it that bit more difficult to actually play the game. But this one, I'm actually finding the medium mode's quite a respectable difficulty. So I managed to reel that one in first place, no problems at all there.
Let's enjoy this race together and don't
And a good 3 seconds, almost, well, 3 and a bit seconds on the AI.
Always. And
so event 2 is at Alaska, and this is layout 2 for Pipeline. Another cross-country event. I really enjoy these cross-country events because it's a progressive journey from A to B. You get to see a lot of different track, you know, kind of corners and jumps and bumps, and it just makes it more interesting. And it's generally, you know, really fast-going point A to B racing. So I absolutely love this stuff. I love this in Grid 2 when they did it with places like the Big Sur on California and stuff. They were my favourite kinds of races in Grid 2. So I screwed that corner up a little bit. I'm in bonnet mode here. Driving, I forgot what I'm driving, you have to forgive me. I think it's a Hyundai Veloster, I think is what I'm driving. Hyundai Veloster RX. Forgive me if I'm wrong. When I finish the edit on this, obviously I'll put at the beginning of the video exactly what vehicle I'm driving so you can see. So far 24% into this. And we've got that horrible rain filter on the front here. And it does really make the game look very bland. And obviously the rain effect as well kind of fogs out the distance. I mean, there are some draw issues in this game anyway. You know, it's not perfect, but I actually quite enjoy this as a game in general. I think if I paid probably £25–30 for this game, or $25–30 for this game, I'd be really happy with it. You know, pretty ecstatic, but there are a few bugs in this. I found quite a few bugs when I was doing my review, which is actually on the channel at the moment if you haven't seen it and you're interested. But yeah, there were a few kind of little niggly bugs here and there, but nothing that's too game breaking. So quite a tight old section this. Get the handbrake on there, I've almost spun right around there. Big smack on the rear as I went round that U-turn. Another tight one. Into a big slide, couldn't control that. Oh, that looks quite nice on the left side there. Quite like the scenery there, even though it's a bit misted out, it looks quite cool. And we're into a big uphill section here, is 70% of the way in. This is quite a light feeling vehicle, this, and it's not as good control as some of the other vehicles I've driven in this class. It's definitely a bit twitchier, this Hyundai Veloster. It's quite an interesting ruin section there. And then we are 15% to go, so this is along the pipeline, hence the name of the layout of the circuit. So we're really tight turn here, opens up quite nicely there, another jump coming up, or a little bit of a jump, nothing major, and then into another couple of slightly tighter turns. We're 3% away, so the finish is just in the horizon, man. I've literally left the AI for dead there. Absolutely blew him away on that circuit. So that definitely looks like a Hyundai Veloster actually. Yeah, there it is, Veloster SR Turbo. So another cross-country event now. This one's the Railroad Layout 2. Quite an interesting track, this one, quite enjoy it. And I'm driving another new vehicle. This is the Volkswagen Touareg number 3. And this vehicle, I've currently only got the one livery for, so this is a generic livery that I'm driving here. And it's got quite a bit of weight in it, this vehicle. Feels quite good. Good sort of sensation of speed as well. Getting caught up on this AI in front there. Hopefully I can get clear of him in a few secs. For once I haven't actually gotten out in front straight away, which is good. At least I feel like I'm racing here. Whereas those last couple of events I actually got out quite quick in front. Oh, big hit from the AI there. Knocking me really wide. Just managed to reel it back in there. That was quite nasty. That nearly put me off track. And then handbrake it as I hit the ground. Bring her back in. Oh, that's a nasty little split there. Try and keep wide of this. I've got caught up on the AI again, just trying to keep wide of him. So I'm currently fighting in 5th place. Nice bit of handbrake there. Push my way through into 3rd. 30% of the way through at this point. Another quite tight section. Oh, need to slow down there. I think that split off there, didn't it? Yeah, it did split off. So I've gone one way and most of the AI have gone the other way, except this guy that's with me. So quite a lot of trees here. Lost a bit of vision as I came around that section, so we're 40% of the way through. There's the other AI joining us. Just been smashed in the side. Managed to sneak in the first place. A little bit of a jump there. Nice bit of score building up in the middle there for my XP, level me up as a driver. And then we've got this bit of a slightly tightish left hand. And this is quite a nice drive, this Touareg actually. It's got quite a bit of weight on it. I don't know if this would be a good car for that achievement, to keep consistent speed without jumps and stuff. There's quite a difficult achievement in this game, which is relative to maintaining high speed for 40 seconds. High speed is like an XP build up, and it's really tough to do. I haven't managed to pin it down yet. I keep getting launched in the air because of the speed I'm traveling. I think it's more to do with managing your speed of the vehicle and knowing the circuit and where it kind of dips and jumps. So I did look on YouTube, but briefly. I don't really look too much on YouTube, ironically, even though I do YouTube myself. But I did see a couple of videos, but there weren't any voiceovers or anything. It was literally just video footage saying, here, this is how you get it done, which wasn't really helpful, to be honest. So I'm trying to work it out myself. I have already done the 7-second drift, so I'll be putting up a video shortly for that. Obviously I'm a little bit late on that. I did do it a couple of weeks back. I just not had time to process the video, but I did get that one quite easy, so I'll share that with you guys in the not too distant future. But this is actually a really good car to drive. Lots of weight behind it, lots of control, and I haven't had any issues trying to recover it in bad situations. It's actually been a very responsive vehicle, this Volkswagen Touareg 3. Really tight corner there, took that really nice, and then a really nasty bit of U-turn there. Bring it through there with 3% away from the finish. I've got a respectable lead on the AI. That was good fun, enjoyed that. And the Volkswagen Touareg, really good car, a really good 4x4 that. Quite enjoyed driving that one.
Live broadcast has come to an end. Gravel Channel is always with you.
So next up we're at the Fisherman's Village, which is another Alaskan track, and it's a time attack in the Ford Focus RS, another new vehicle I've unlocked. This is the generic livery that you get when you unlock the vehicle. So let's see how this thing handles. Not too bad. Definitely feels a bit more positive than that Hyundai Veloster did. That felt a little bit kind of on the edge of out of control. Not quite dreadful to drive, but just a little bit twitchy. This one feels a lot more responsive, this Ford Focus RS. I prefer this. So quite respectable speed. I've gone into chase mode here, just so you get a different perspective in the race and get to see a bit more, obviously, what's going on around me as I'm driving. So this is a circuit I can't remember if I've actually driven this before. I'm not sure I have, to be honest. So I think this is possibly a first time drive at the Fisherman's Village in Alaska. So quite a nice bit of scenery there. Got that horrible rain filter on again. Sorry, I'm going to keep moaning about it. I don't like it. But I quite like the look of the circuit. It just looks so much better without this filter on the front of it. They're ruining what the game looks like. It just seems a shame to, kind of destroy all that work they've done. This corner, we're 44% of the way in. This is my first run on this one, so it'd be interesting to see whether I can beat it first time. I am really pushing it here, trying to keep the car in control. Couldn't do it there. I was a little bit fast into that section, lost all my XP. And a little bit of a jump over that checkpoint. Into another quite tight section, backed off a little bit there. I didn't want to lose control. Quite a nasty corner that one, or U-turn. And quite a nasty tight set. I remember that, I think I might have done this earlier actually, or at least that section I remember anyway. That's quite a nasty little S section that. Luckily I remembered it, I was able to get through it quite cleanly this time. I think the first time I hit the wall. It's a nice big jump coming up. Excellent stuff, love it. Simplest things please the simplest of minds. And then straight over this sand section. Got a big bit of XP there. Over 4.5k. That'll do nicely. And then we've got a big jump over this ship, this derelict ship in the water. And then we're not too far from the finish now. Tried to land on that patch, unfortunately got caught in the water again, slowing me down. And obviously all this water is hurting my time for this time attack, so obviously I'm going to try and take the shortest routes possible and avoid as much water as possible. Hopefully I can reel this in first time. Excellent, first place. So how close was I? So one last episode before we get to James Watanabe, the Speedcross boss. So this is episode 8 and we are among the dunes with trophy trucks. And this time round I'm driving the Chevrolet Silverado CK1500, which I think is the first time I've driven this vehicle. This is the third trophy truck that you can unlock in the game. It does take a while to unlock. And this is I think this is the generic livery that you get when you first open the car, or get access to the car if you like. So it's quite a quick vehicle, a lot of weight behind this vehicle. Slow down a bit by the water there. Lots of jumps. We've got a bit of a slow sort of undulating right turn here. Now I've done some of this before and I remember this corner being particularly nasty. That jump nearly threw me out the checkpoint there. So I've got to be careful with some of these sections because it's very easy to go off track, and obviously going off track will mean me being in last place, and I really don't want to do that. I'm gonna take right here. Hopefully this is the good direction to go, we'll find out I guess. And then it kind of weaves back in on itself if I remember. First time I drove through this I thought I was going to have to right, I thought that was like a big U-turn. I nearly handbrake turned it until I realised it kind of went straight on. And we've got a really tight left-hand U-turn here, or right-angle U-turn, I suppose you could call it, right-angle corner. And then downhill into a kind of curve to the right. Really fast section this, and we're right on top of the finish here, down the hill. And I've got a pretty respectable lead on the competition here, so quite easy to bag this one first time round. Really good fun that.
Even though today's live broadcast has come to an end, Gravel Channel is always with you.
So next up we're at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum and the Crossing. And this circuit's called the Crossing for a reason, because traffic crosses over during the race. So once, if I can get out in front of course, I'm going to possibly be hitting back markers when I cross over this section. It's basically a figure of 8. So be interested to see how this race goes. I'm getting beaten up a bit here by third place. I've jumped out into chase mode again for this, and I'm driving the F-150 SVT Raptor, Ford Raptor. So it's quite a good vehicle. It's probably my favourite vehicle out of these types of trucks. Really tight corner. These are Coliseum based events. I actually find these quite tough to beat the AI first time round, and this is my second run at the moment. First time I came in second place, I couldn't quite get into the lead. I managed to get it here in the third lap. These are actually very short laps we're doing, and it's actually very easy to make a mistake and also lose your place, and also clip these kind of turns as you're coming around. It's very easy to steer the car or the truck I should say into the corners. That wasn't too badly done there. So currently in first place. This is coming up the, oh no, crap, first place I've lost. Murphy's got in front of me again. I need to reel this guy in before lap 5's over. Oh, he's had a big accident. That was lucky for me, not so lucky for him. And second place is a long way off, so as long as I can get through this section without getting crowned, excellent. So I managed to reel that in. That was really good fun. Love that circuit. That'd be pretty amazing online, I think.
Watching this race, you're used to strong emotions.
So the third event in episode 8 takes us to Frozen Peak and Mont Blanc figure of 8. This is quite a big circuit. It's actually the circuit, by the way, this particular circuit. I can't remember if it's this exact variant. I think it might be. This is the circuit where I got my 7-second drift So Frozen Peak is definitely the best place from my experience to get that 7-second drift. As I said, I will put a video up on the channel in the not too distant future. It's explaining what I did and what I was using, although you can do it in multiple vehicles. Obviously the rally-ish type vehicles are some of the best vehicles to do it in. So I turned in a bit early there, nearly came a cropper on that hedgeway, or curbing if you like. The AI are absolutely beating the life out of me here. Get out of it. They are mashing me all over the place here. I'm going to return the favour in a minute with some interest if they keep that up. I'm not quite enjoying that. So really love this circuit for getting the drifts. It's really good for building up XP, this Frozen Peak circuit. You've got a massive jump, big air, landed really solid there, and then a little bit early again on that corner. It's quite a nasty turn that. I've got caught up on the AI, and the AI's caught up in the AI front, got bounced off by hitting the wall there. Big bit of XP there, nearly 6k of XP, and then a little bit of a jump there, just unsteadying this vehicle. It's not the steadiest of vehicles, but because there's so much kind of going on the track, there isn't going to be any vehicle that's going to be particularly 100% stable on this circuit. It's quite a tough circuit, and that's what makes it so fun. The feedback you're getting off the road and the need to control the vehicle. Really big jump again, landed quite nicely there. A little bit of a lift there as I landed, just budged second place out the way unintentionally, drifting it around this corner. That was beautiful. Got caught on the AI in front, unfortunately. That slowed me down a bit. And this is the third lap. We're going to be coming up to lap 4 now, so this last lap I've got to make it count here. Pushed it through, getting caught up on first place. Bit of a battle here, getting tapped by the AI. Quite a lot of drifting going on as well. That's obviously slowing me down. It's not the best thing for winning races, even though it is really good fun. And I've got to take this in. I've got to be careful. Oh no, I went a little bit early again, pushed myself out. That wasn't a good move. Pushed me wide. Just managed to cut the corner a little bit. A little tap with the AI, and I'm losing it. Come on, keep it together. First place. Oh, I was just able to reel it in first run. So that is really good fun racing. That I love that. Great stuff.
What a thrilling race. So many years as a commentator, and these guys...
So the final event takes us to Loic, and it's a smash-up event. So it's going to be a single lap attempt to try and get the best time possible. These are quite tough. This is quite a short circuit though, so I'm hopeful I can pin this down in my third run. I've already run this twice and I've screwed up every time on the same corner, and it's quite a tricky circuit this, and obviously with the rain it's just making it that little bit slidier and a little bit harder to control the car. But the section I get stuck on is kind of quite a fast section. This is it here, so I actually land up going wide, try and correct and hit the wall and lose control. This time I managed to get through it, so now this is the furthest I've been on this smash up, because I did quick resets before. So third attempt, let's see if I can pull in a first place. Excellent, got that in the bag. So that was a little tougher than the last one.
Take the determination of a samurai and mix it with the madness of a driving ace. If you haven't reached James Watanabe, you definitely came very close. His technique has led him to become the new speed race master, and he is now one of the fastest drivers in the world. Underestimating him is a mistake that no one should make.
So this is what I've been looking forward to, a bit of speed cross head-to-head with James Watanabe. And I'm driving the Volkswagen Polo RX, not driven this car before. And Watanabe's driving, I think that is the BRZ, the Subaru BRZ. Took that a little bit wide there. Really wet circuit this. And this is the rain effect I'm talking about. Look how good, I think this looks quite good versus that filter they keep putting on. I'm not sure why I don't have the filter here. I'm not going to complain because I don't like the filter, but oh, okay, it's just come back. I spoke too soon. I cursed myself. Damn it. And it makes it really difficult to see what's going on here. So I've managed to get into first place here, although I'm getting myself caught up. Spoke too soon. Drift it around this corner. Had to back off there. I was going to go into that half a ring donut. Caught him up the rear there unintentionally. And then this section, got to get it all the way around the corner. I've got 3 laps to get myself in permanent first. I keep getting caught up on him, on James Watanabe, because he's driving a similar speed to me. So he's actually, seems to be quite a good challenge, this guy. Got caught up on the tyres. Oh, sorry dude, bounced into him unintentionally. Turned way too early there. Caught the tyre wall again. I'm making a bit of a mess of this. At the moment I'm able to keep first place. I'll try to get my driving skill back in check. So I've been getting a little bit messy here. I've gone a bit wide. Hit the wall again. I need to try and get this right. I don't want to hit this half a donut as I drive through. Big jump. I was way too fast as I went over the jump there. Managed to just keep it in control. I'm a little wide here, so I'm into the last lap here and I'm driving pretty atrociously, to be honest. Sorry about that. It's not great. I'll be honest, this Latvia circuit is the first time I've driven this, I think. I don't remember it anyway. So, and obviously driving it in the rain makes it even tougher because there is a hell of a lot of surface water here, and it does make a lot of difference to the way the vehicle drives in this game, which I really like. You know, and that's the other thing I sort of failed to mention in my review of this game was the weather effects. You know, the actual weather effects on the vehicle and the track. They're actually quite good, and it's also great that we've got, you know, rain, we've got snow, and you know, we've got a good variant of weather systems, which not a lot of, you know, games offer. Only Project Cars 2 as far as I remember. So into the final corner here, only just ahead of this guy. So I managed to squeeze first place by a whisker.
The first race is over. Now it's...
So next up we're at Las Vegas, another head-to-head. This circuit's quite a tough circuit from what I remember. I think this is the circuit I was driving that A110 on before the Renault rally car. So it'll be interesting to see how I get on here. I quite like this Volkswagen Beetle RX, really nice little car. I absolutely hate the Beetle in real life. I'm sorry if you like them. I really don't like these vehicles in real life. The, you know, generic version, if you like. I've never driven a rally one, obviously, but yeah, horrible drive, these cars in real life. I prefer the EOS, definitely. I had an EOS for about 3 years, and that's a hardtop convertible. That's an amazing car to drive from Volkswagen, and obviously anything that's a Golf is a, you know, great drive. Siroccos as well, big fan of those. I just don't like the Beetle. It's I don't know, it's something to do with that long gear stick, and the seating position's just not right, and it kind of feels like I'm driving a bucket. It kind of reminds me of the old original Mini Cooper, because I've driven one of those, and I'll be honest, I hated that too. I just really didn't like the seating position. It was like I was sat on the floor, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for that, but it's just not my kind of vehicle. Didn't like them at all. Anyway, back to this event. So we're in 2 laps out of 3, and I'm really screwing that corner every time I take it. And I must admit, I'm getting a bit tired now. There's a lot of driving for me with my severe sleep apnea in one go. So, you know, it's quite taxing on the old mind, if you like, this driving the lark. And it is pretty in your face, this driving. You know, this James Watanabe boss is actually really on my case here. So if I don't push it hard, I'm not going to win the event. I've really messed that corner up a treat again. I'm sort of getting used to this circuit. slowly, he says, making another mistake. But it's actually a really fun circuit to drive this, tarmac. You can feel the squeal of the tyres as you go around. You can feel the control there and the loss of control when you get it wrong. And when you get it right, it just feels really, really good. Really, really fun to drift around these circuits. That's the great thing about Speedcross, and this is why I was really looking forward to James Watanabe's challenges.
If there's one thing I learned from off-road...
So having reeled in 2 races, or 2 head-to-heads against James Watanabe, I'm at St. Louis for the last one, and this time round I jumped in the Mini Countryman RX, which you will have seen me race before. I'm not sure if you've seen me race it on a Speedcross circuit though, so it'll be interesting to see how I get on here. I'm actually right up the backside of the AI unintentionally. I'm kind of caught at the moment. Okay, I managed to free myself. Big jump. That was quite fun. And then through this section, a little bit of a clip there on the barrier as I come through. A lot of drift in here. It's quite a technical circuit, this one, by the looks of it. And then clipped the AI as it came round. Really tight U-turn here. Bring it round. And then another U-turn. All the way around. That was quite nicely done. AI is right with me the whole time. Hitting some of the markers here on the track. Straight into lap 2. So just in first place here by a whisker. Can I keep it together for the rest of the race on my first run? So far all of these I pinned down first time. These James Watanabe challenges, although I have obviously clashed a little bit with the AI unintentionally. I do prefer to have a bit of a cleaner race, but to be honest with these Speedcross circuits, they're quite tight, so it's quite hard not to clip the AI, especially when you're driving in car like I am at the moment. You can't always see what's around you. I've just actually hit the AI with the rear of my car there, and that's why I hit the barrier. So really nice section coming up here. I love this U-turn. Get some drifting going on as we come round, and then through into the final lap. So really fun circuit this. If you love drifting, you're going to love going around this circuit. And obviously there's quite a few vehicles in this class that you can chuck around this circuit and have fun with. The St. Louis circuit, and then around, real nice bit of drifting there through that section. Got a little bit more of a gap, but he's only a mistake away. James Watanabe is right on my case. So if I make a mistake, I can lose this. It's actually right up my backside now. He really caught me up through that section because of all the drifting I was doing. And he's side by side now as we're coming into the final straight. This is as tight as it's going to get. Make it. Excellent. Well, that was really good fun. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough part 3 for Gravel on Xbox One. I'll be back soon. Please remember to rate and subscribe. And most importantly, take care, keep well, keep watching.